Here we have a Dell Alienware M17 R5. We're going to open up and explore the insides. This is actually the same laptop as the R4 and the R3. Slightly different, but the inside and layout should be the same. Remember to put your laptop or computer on something soft so you don't damage it when you move it around. Also, this disassembly is actually quite hard. There's a high number of screws and it's going to take quite long. So we're going to flip to the back first, as you always do, and remove the back cover. There's 4 screws holding the back cover down. I'm pointing to the two top screws now. And there's 2 screws on the plate. These 4 screws are the same screws. So after you remove it, the 4 screws, you slide the back cover off. I'm just going to show you the direction you slide it towards. So that direction. Hope you understand that. It's slightly hard, so just put some grip on it. So now we have opened up. There's a few things to see. So DVD drive, battery, hard drive 1, hard drive 2, wireless card, RAM, and there's RAM on the other side as well. That's CPU, fan, graphic card, and graphic card fan. So now we're going to remove the first hard drive. There's 4 screws holding the hard drive down. You might look at it and you see 8 screws. The other 4 screws is to hold the hard drive onto the plate, or the hard drive cage, whatever you call it. So after you remove the 4 screws, there's this black tab. I'm just going to show you now. It's used to help you to remove the hard drive. You just pull on it and the hard drive comes off. We're now going to go on to the second hard drive. Same thing. There's 4 screws holding the second hard drive down. And for this one, there's a white tab. Depending on your laptop, some of you will have both black tabs. Some of you have a white tab like mine. So you pull on the tab and it comes off. So now we're going to remove the battery. So with the battery screws, they're actually different from the rest of the screws. The 2 hard drive screws are the same. There's a lot of screws in this. Remember to put it separately so you remember. There's 2 screws holding the battery down. So I'm just going to show you how to remove the battery. The battery is actually angled. You have to tilt it up one side and it comes out. I'm just putting it back to show you again. You tilt it up one side and you lift it up is how you remove it. Now we're going to remove the DVD drive. There's 4 screws holding the DVD drive down, and there's a string. Remember to remove the string, as it will get in your way when you remove it. These 4 screws are the same 4 screws as your hard drive one, so you can put it in the same box. and you just lift it off and it comes off. So now we're going to remove the RAM. Like I told you before, there's 2 RAM slots on the other side behind the keyboard. So you push away the 2 sides and the RAM pops up. This is DDR3L, if you want to know, 1.35 volts, not your normal 1.5 volts. So here's the fan. We're going to remove the graphic card fan first. So there's 3 screws holding the fan down. These screws don't come off. The screws stay on the fan, so you don't have to worry about removing it. Remember to pull out the string when you remove the fan. When putting it back, put the string back first, so it's easier. There's this black stuff on it, it's just sticky tape, so you just yank it a bit and the sticky tape comes off. It's not important, but yes, this is where you can clean your fan. So next we're going to remove the graphic card heatsink. So there's 4 screws holding the graphic card heatsink down. You can remove any of these 4 screws in any order. Only when you put it back, you have to put it back in the correct order. If it's the first time you remove it, it gets stuck a bit. I'm just using my screwdriver to wedge it open, pry it open a bit. Is because the thermal paste in the thermal pad, it's like glue, so if you haven't opened it for a long time, it gets sticky. So to remove this, you tilt it up on one side first. It's like the battery. I'm just going to put it back so you can see. That's the thermal paste. There's a thermal pad there, just leave it there. Do not remove the thermal pads, you only remove the thermal paste. And here I'm going to show you how you put it back. So you slide one side in first, and then you place it down. Remember to realign it to fit the screws. Now I'm just going to remove it. I removed my thermal pad and put it on the heatsink instead. You don't have to do this, I just did it because I wanted to do it. So this is the graphic card. You can change and swap out the graphic card. There's 2 screws holding the graphic card down. Like the RAM, once you remove the 2 screws, it tilts up and it comes out. So these black things here are the RAM on the graphic card, whatever it comes with, 2, 4, 5 gigs of RAM or 3 gigs of RAM. That's what those black dots are. I'm just going to get a cloth to clean off the thermal paste. So you get the cloth, just remove your old thermal paste. So I'm going to replace the thermal paste for this one. I'll do that at the end of the video when I put it back together. I'm just going to remove it apart now. It's easy to remove your thermal paste if it's cold. It doesn't spread out, and when you remove it, it just comes off at blocks. So here's the thermal paste for the heating. This is quite hard. As you see, I've struggled to remove it. I'm probably going to use, it's probably too hard for me to remove just by the cloth alone. So I'm going to end up using some methylene spirits, as you see soon, or later on at the end of the video, to remove the thermal paste of the heatsink. So while I'm at here, this is the difference between high quality and low quality thermal paste. As you see, this is rock hard, and the idea of thermal paste is supposed to be paste, not rock hard.
Can you move up a bit?
Up here.
No, your way. Yep.
I can't clean this.
It does do the
It's
job,
so
but it's
terrible.
not high quality.
So hard.
If you have watched my other videos, I tell you not to be cheap on thermal paste. When it costs $10,
This is so
you
terrible.
probably use it
I
for
need
your
to
whole
clean this
life.
off the screen so I can clean it.
I'm just going to remove it off
Want me
screen
to
now,
stop it?
Yep.
as it's too hard to put it over the camera and try to remove it.
Don't even need that. How I took long?
A minute.
Just like that. You go.
So here you go. It's a bit more clean now,
I'll just.
but
Don't show you
it's
still
not
dirty.
clean enough.
You can put it in long enough.
Is it? Don't tell me you don't know. You can see enough. Over here.
And
Is it
next
here?
we're going to remove the CPU fan and the CPU heatsink. Same with the graphic card fan. The screws on this, there's 3 of them, and they stay on. We're going to remove your fan cable before you remove the fan. And same with the previous fan, there's a sticker holding it down, the black sticker. Just put a bit of force in it, it comes off.
You not
So
see
the
that?
CPU heatsink has 4 screws holding it down. You don't have to remove the screws in any order. As long as you remove all the 4 screws, it's fine. So now that I've removed all the 4 screws, same with the graphic card heatsink, you need to tilt it up before you remove it. It's basically the same as the RAM. Just remove it as you remove the RAM. I'll just press it back so you can see how I remove it and put it back together.
Can you see this?
Dust normally builds up here. So you clean that area that I just pointed to.
Oh.
But you're supposed to take long, just take
I'm
longer.
just going to get my cloth and clean the CPU. Just sometimes
Is it too long?
getting a cloth to remove the
Nah,
thermal paste is
hard.
not enough. Like I said before, in the heatsink, it's hard,
Nah,
but most
it
of the
needs to make
time
money to feed. Nah.
it's enough to clean it.
No, nah, it doesn't. Nah, it doesn't feed do it. It has to feed nah. Can you see this, man?
So here's the heatsink, CPU.
You can bend the screen down so you can see.
Just gonna use my
It's
cloth.
there.
As it's
Moving a
hard,
bit.
just by pushing
Yep.
up, it comes off. And you can get it basically relatively really clean, just with a cloth without any solution. I just took it off screen to clean it, as it's a lot easier to clean it.
Can you see it?
And there you go.
Yeah.
It's all clean.
Can you see this? The screw
So
here?
now we're going to remove the CPU from the socket. You can replace this CPU. You're going to need a star
Can't see the screw, but I can see where you're pointing at.
CPU.
Really?
Yeah, the black thing is covering the
I
screw.
believe it's a
Okay.
T10
Let's go lift it up.
torque screwdriver. I'm just
And
going to
that's
show
it.
you now. There's
Yep.
a screw there. You just need to
The screw?
unscrew it anti-clockwise, half a circle. And you'll hear a click. And the socket will actually move, loosening the CPU. So
Up a bit,
this is your
up a bit.
CPU.
Huh?
Yep.
Just lift it back. Nothing special
Down a
about it.
bit. I don't know which way.
What?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Go up a bit.
Which way?
This way, this way.
Why? Oh my god, no.
So how do you know what
Can't see
direction
it.
it's
See a triangle?
looking?
Yes,
you
can you
see
do the triangle?
I'm pointing to the triangle now. There's also a triangle on the computer, on the motherboard.
Can you see this
sorry.
triangle?
There's a little small white triangle there.
Yes,
Tells you the
I know.
direction which you put the CPU in. You cannot put the CPU
Sort of,
in the wrong
yes,
way.
whatever.
It doesn't fit. And putting it the wrong way can damage your CPU. So I'm just going to replace it. And to close it, turn it clockwise, half a circle.
Can you see this one?
I'm going to now remove the wireless card.
Yeah.
There's one screw holding the wireless card down. Remember to remove the cables first from the wireless card. It makes it a lot easier to remove.
Okay. And now we have to zoom in.
On what?
On this, there's letters. Can you see this letter? Can you see the P?
So now, we're going to basically remove every screw on the
No.
back.
Can does
I'm
it
just
lift
pointing
it up?
to a screw
You
now.
can unsee it.
It has
No.
a letter next to it.
Where?
If you can see, it says P. We need to remove all the screws
Yep.
that have the P next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And next to it, it says
And do you need to show
M17
another one? Can you see this one? D?
L3.
Where?
Up here.
Tells you the
Where my
size
hand
of the
is.
screw. I'm just pointing to another screw
Oh,
here. This
yes.
one is D.
Does it show?
We
Yeah.
don't need to remove the D one. We only want the P. There's like around 20 of these.
Okay. Now we're gonna have to remove all the screws. Can you see the whole thing?
So we, so
Okay.
we remove all these screws so we can remove the keyboard cover. I'm just pointing out all the screws now. With the P screws, there's two types. If you look next to the P, there'll be 2.5 XL8, that's the larger screw, and 2.5 XL3, that's the same screw as the hard drive one.
Okay. You normally only need to remove all the P's.
Remember to put these screws separately, as it can get confusing.
Why does this one have both? There's two of that gluey thing.
Oh, because no, normally they have two gluey things.
Huh?
It's normal.
Is it? How come
Oh, if it doesn't, this has a graphic card as well. It has to have a graphic card, that GUI thing. Has two. One's for CPU and the other's for graphic card. Oh, there's a one here too. Can they see this?
I'm not there.
Is this one?
See what?
The screw here.
Oh, I can see the screw. Oh, I can see a screw there. What time is it?
Right. P here too. P. Is this long? Is none frustrated?
Do this one here too.
What, is it P?
I don't know, I can't tell.
Why?
There's one really at the top.
It is P as well. How long has my video gone for?
22 minutes.
Whew. I think I'll remove all the P's. None find any more P's.
I'm not looking at P's, I'm just looking.
Can none look at any more screws?
No, not really.
No, here, there's one here. Okay.
How about in that hole
Which one?
behind the strings?
It's gone. Okay.
How about the one on the
Now
middle?
I basically remove all the screws.
Which one?
Remember to stop
That middle, that corner.
and double
there.
check that you remove
There's
all
none.
the screws.
Oh, in the
These
circles
ones,
here.
no,
Yeah.
don't need.
I'm just double checking and looking if I remove all the
Okay.
screws properly
Just flip it around.
before I pry open the front cover or the keyboard cover.
Pause it for a bit. Don't need to check how to.
Pause it.
Yep. Stop it. Can you see this?
Yep.
Just get your prying tool. That's my prying tool. My camera ran out of batteries, so I had to stop for a bit. So we're going to use your prying tool to pry along the side. There's this tab here. This is the keyboard tab. It connects the motherboard to the keyboard touchpad. You have to remove that.
And can you see
And
this
the
one?
other one here, that's the on button, I believe. You need to remove that as well.
Tell away.
And those are attached to the keyboard.
Get away from me! I'm not done yet.
Tell me you're not done yet. I'm standing. I don't know.
ready
Sometimes you record.
now.
You never tell me. You're like, I'm recording already.
Alright, go.
So now we're going to
Stop
start prying.
complaining, Kaya, so much.
Just start
Frustrate
prying in the
me.
corner. Makes it a lot easier. Once you start getting to open, and it will just open automatically. Generally, when you reach around halfway or start crack, the whole thing will just open up. And there you go.
Now we have it.
Just be
Flip
careful
it
when you do
over.
it. In my case, I have to lean it up so you guys could see for the video. But yes, that wasn't really a safe way. Remember to push your screen all the way back to remove the cover. As part of the cover goes under the screen. So here is what you see under the keyboard. There's your two other RAM slots. So pull away the two sides to remove the RAM. Here's your mSata slot. You remove the screw and it pops up just like the RAM.
Can you see this?
Yep.
That's your LCD cable, the blue one with
This
the blue tab.
is a slot.
Just to show you guys. And there's another slot here for your wireless card. Just to show you it fits. I'm just going to put my mSata slot
There's
in,
another wireless
mSata
card?
hard drive to show you that it fits. Yeah.
Wireless cards and stuff.
You normally use something like that
That
for your
is
mobile
basically
wireless 3G, 4G.
it for now.
What?
And that's about it for now. And we're going to go on to
Yep.
putting back the
Hey,
graphic
do you have
card
to ask I never
and
told
reapplying thermal
you.
paste to the
I'm sorry,
graphic card
but
and
there's already
CPU.
ready.
No, he's going to get it. Yes.
So here's the CPU. heatsink. I'm just going to get my thermal paste now.
Put that on first.
I'm using Noctua thermal
Can
paste.
you screw that on first?
Noctua
What? No, that's good on.
NTH1. This costs $10 for a tube,
Doesn't that go there?
and you probably can use
Each
it
one has
15
each one.
times.
Oh, it's
So
up there.
just spray up. Just put a little bit on your CPU. So for the CPU, probably half of rice grain is enough for this CPU. I'm just spreading it out slightly, as it's lengthwise, not a square. Like
Did
the
you see that?
graphic card one.
Hmm.
So now we're going to place the CPU in. You slide the heatsink or the heatsink grills in first, and then you put it down. Remember to align the screws. Don't press
Can you see the
down too
1,
hard on
2,
it.
3, 4?
There's numbers on the screws.
No.
Just screw it in
Or
according
2000,
to the
I can't
numbers.
see it.
Okay.
Remember, for number 1, 2, 3, screw it in halfway
this?
only. I'm just going to show you the numbers here. See, there's number 1, 4, that's 2, 4,
Can you see it?
Yep.
3, and 1. Screw it in according to the numbers. Remember to screw number 1, 2, 3 halfway, number 4 all
Shouldn't
the
you show
way,
that one first?
and then work
What?
backwards.
Already
3,
put
2,
it on.
1.
No, it's the same thing. They both have.
She's funny. She didn't ask your mom to drive with her.
No, Mum really went. Because she wanted to drive, yeah. It's not worth going by plane. She wants to buy something at Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it if, yeah, you go by plane.
What did she want to buy?
I don't know. Some stuff for her mum, cosmetic.
Here's the fan,
Really?
CPU fan.
Yeah.
The CPU fan and the graphic card fan are different. The graphic card fan is a lot
Tell your
bigger.
mom to buy it.
No,
As
but
you can
then
see
you
here,
have to come back.
remember to put
Buy
your-
all my car's worth it.
The cable in first before you put your fan in, as it's a lot harder to put the cable in afterwards. And screw the 3 screws in. Here's your graphic card. Just like the RAM, slide it in diagonally. Remember, make sure it goes in all the way. When you push it in, it'll make a click. And
Do you cheat on me? You do have to let Nan know,
need to align
okay?
it with the
If
screw
you cheated on
holes.
me, you have to let me know.
So you know if you went wrong, if it doesn't align with the screw
Daddy?
holes.
Yeah.
I lost a screw. Where's my other screw? Odd.
So we're going
The
to
one
screw
that
the
you
2
used for the
screws
other
back in
place?
to hold it
No,
place.
not that one.
That's
Can't
it
be.
back down.
This one's bigger.
Hmm.
Let's see if this one goes all the way in.
You can't lose a screw.
It went all the way in. Shocking.
I forgot
Is
to
that the
mention,
screw?
you do not spread your thermal
Yeah.
paste out to cover the thing. You just put a blob in the center, or
Do you need lighting?
Or
They should
straight
get
line.
lighter.
and then when you when you put the heatsink on top and screw it in, it will spread it
It's
out
like it's
automatically.
not bright enough.
See here, this is a
Zoom in
square.
like that. Just show them it's really less.
Since this is square, not rectangular,
It's already
I can just
zoomed in.
put
I
it the
can't zoom
center.
more in than
It'll
that.
spread out evenly. Unlike the CPU, it's lengthwise, so I needed to.
You didn't ask your mum
Put
and
the
dad
thermal
if they
paste
wanted the
lengthwise.
bed.
Oh yeah.
One second. This one I couldn't clean properly, so I have to clean this. See if it works.
Whatever breaks it.
I'm just off
No,
screen a
no,
bit.
it
I'm
doesn't
trying to
break
clean the heatsink.
I'm clean those.
As before, I did not clean it properly.
Mm-hmm.
you go. Here's
No,
the
no,
heatsink.
the
I'm
go
just using
between that.
methane spirit
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine.
to rub it. You don't have to make sure it's
See this?
100% clean. Use
Down a
methane
bit.
spirit.
This way to bit. Yep. No, this way. This way. Yep,
Why?
that's fine.
So
Probably $10
hard.
for a
I
litre
can't
or
see
this.
$5
Zoomed
for
in.
a litre, depending
Oh wait, I
where
could
you
have
are.
zoomed out, but too bad. You finished already.
You can use some alcohol solution. You don't need to use methane spirit.
Let's clean better.
You read forums and check online.
Sort
People
of.
tell you to do that.
Probably
Lot
need
better.
more.
A lot better than
So
before.
I'm just going to rub it
Before
until
with
it's
my own hand, I couldn't clean
cleaner
it.
than it is.
Hmm.
We only really
You
care
need a
about
bit
the
more.
centre.
Do the edge of it.
Around the edges is not important, as it does not make contact with the graphic
Only
card.
the center matters.
Hmm.
And here you go, it's all clean.
What if
The side doesn't touch. That's why.
like what if the middle doesn't clean? What
It's
happens?
good if you can clean it. It's not that big of a deal. You
What happens though? Why do you clean it?
because it's old. It's useless.
But isn't it just like glue?
No, it's not glue.
It doesn't do anything, does
Can
it?
you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it. Like you don't do anything with it, do you?
It's important. Yeah. This is really important.
Does
If-
it
Now,
does it
with
connect?
yeah, it connects.
Heatsink
That's what
like
it
this.
is. That's the idea of it.
So the
Where
paste
the
helps it
heatsink
connect.
didn't have,
Connects.
goes in first,
Ah.
you slide it in.
The paste is
and
really
then
important.
press,
If you don't have paste here,
and
the
push
computer
it
burns
down,
out.
and it goes. Remember to realign it
Mm-hmm.
with the screw holes. Try not to press down too hard, because when you press down on it, you spread out the thermal paste. And there's also numbers on this one, as I showed you before. Same rule for number 1, 2, and 3. Go halfway. Number 4, go all the way in and work backwards.
The DVD drive, hard drive, thingy.
Now I'm going to put back the graphic card fan. Remember to plug in the cable first, as it's hard to plug in the cable once you put back the fan.
Some guy came today, yeah.
And screw the
Paid me
free cable.
$39 for
What?
$140, and he was waiting for his dollar. So shocking.
Huh?
Only people wouldn't care less about the dollar,
Yeah.
but he was waiting for his dollar.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
That's it. That was shocking, huh?
And that's about
Wait,
it.
so it was $139.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. No, end it.
Oh.
Just zoom out.
This is a relatively hard and more complex disassembly, as it has a lot of screws. Not much can go wrong, but remember to put your screws separately so you remember where each screw goes. Putting the wrong screw in the wrong place can damage your motherboard as it pierces through the other side. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.